Hi guys, it's Jen here. I have another slow cooker Sunday recipe for you. This is Santa Fe chicken, and I got this recipe from skinnytaste.com. I've only changed it a little bit, so I wanted to make sure I give her credit, and I will put the link for the recipe below and just tell you the little bit that I did change, which isn't much. So this recipe is very good, very flavorful. It's one where you just throw everything in the slow cooker and it does all the work, and then you serve it over rice, and we like it with sour cream on top. My husband loves this recipe and my kids like it, so it's really good, and it's also a low-fat recipe if you're concerned about that. So I'll go ahead and show you what I do. So I have my slow cooker sprayed with olive oil spray so that nothing will stick. And then you'll need about 1.5 pounds of chicken breast. I have 3 here, which is plenty. And just place those in the bottom. And the chicken gets shredded, so you don't need one per person or anything like that. Okay, and her recipe says to add a can of chicken broth, but I felt like there was a little bit too much liquid. So I have 10 ounces of chicken broth, which I think is just a little bit better. And then everything else you just pour in. You're going to need 1 can of corn, and be sure to drain it. 1 can of black beans, 15-ounce can, and make sure you drain those also. And then you're going to need 1 can of diced tomatoes and green chilies. And this is a 10-ounce can. Try not to shake the camera while I do this. And then you're going to need, I like cilantro, so I use about 1/4 cup of chopped cilantro. You can use a couple tablespoons if you're not a huge cilantro fan. And then I have 3 or 4 green onions chopped. So just, you know, about that much. And I'll have the recipe linked below. And then you'll need about 1 teaspoon of salt. Sometimes I add more salt when it's done cooking, just to give it a little more flavor. So 1 teaspoon of salt. And then you'll need onion powder. Her recipe said 1 teaspoon. I like a lot of flavor and spice in my food, so I put about 2 teaspoons of each of the spices. And sometimes I even add more when it's done cooking. We are like a spicy family. We like our food to have a lot of flavor. And then you'll need cumin, so 1 to 2 teaspoons of that. And 1 to 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. And the recipe does call for cayenne pepper, which will make it spicy. You can definitely leave this out, and there is enough flavor without it if you have younger children who will be eating this, or if you don't like really spicy things. But you'll just sprinkle that to taste. And we like spice, so just sprinkle that. Okay, and then you're just going to cook this. Let me check the recipe really quick. You're going to cook it on low for 10 hours or on high for 6 hours. This is a great recipe if you work, because a lot of recipes you can't leave on for 10 hours, but this one is great, and there's enough liquid so that the chicken won't get dried out or anything. So you'll cook that, and when it's done cooking, the chicken needs to be shredded. So what I do is I shred the chicken and I let it sit for a while to absorb the broth and everything, and that's when I cook my rice. So that's all the extra thing that you'll need to do. It's very good, and I will show you what it looks like when it's done. So this is what your Santa Fe chicken will look like after it's cooked for about 6 hours. And you're just going to shred the chicken and then let it sit in its juices while you make your rice. And I will show you what it looks like when I serve it. This is what your Santa Fe chicken will look like once you've shredded the chicken. and a lot of the broth will be absorbed while you cook your rice and just let it sit there. But there still is plenty of broth. This is one of the reasons that I reduced the broth to 10 ounces instead of a full can. And we just serve ours over rice, so I will show you what that looks like. So this is what it looks like when it's served, just some brown rice, or you can use whichever rice you want, and then the Santa Fe chicken, and we like it with sour cream on top. It's not, super pretty or anything, but it's really good and flavorful. And be sure to taste it before you serve it and make sure it has enough salt and seasonings for you. I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and if you did, please hit like below, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to How Jen Does It. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment below. Thanks for watching.